I sincerely apologize, everybody. I thought I hit go live and everything like that, and only to go through almost an entire run through of the set list, granted only on guitar, only to figure out that I had to actually hit go live for something that I scheduled. I'm used to just hitting live and then I've like just hitting, start streaming and then go from there. Anyway, but I still have 2 more run-throughs of the set, and I'm going to be doing vocals for this one. So I sincerely apologize. I really thought I was live for a moment, but I wasn't. Well, thank you for your patience and everything like that. Give me just a moment. Going to have a little water, clear my throat a little bit, and then I'll be ready to go through another run-through of the set list. Yeah. All right, here we go. Starting from the top, we are starting with Engraved plus Fragment. Hating my face in the mirror, the image I made myself in. I wish that I could start over, where I hope and the future begins. Nowhere can I find a trace of place, tossed and driven like a wave upon the seas. My hope is to take hold of the hands whose palms has my name been engraved.
Our souls to let go of the sins and weight, so we may off track. We burn through the affections I had for the things that were holding me back. Struggle alone with the thought of a life where I can't love myself again. To our souls, every day of my work till it gets to my heart from my pain.
I won't stop till I'm delivered from the lies that I believed in, taking on a new perspective. I'm transformed as my mind is renewed. Where can I find a trace of peace? Tossed and driven like a wave upon the seas. My hope is to take hold of the hands on whose palms has my name been engraved. Give one good reason to me to stay in the box that you make for me. Self-proclaimed renegades, put a finger in my face and go with the grain. I don't think so. This is my life, this is my dream, this is my very own fragment of eternity. I'm becoming everything that I was designed to be. This is my life, this is my dream, this is my very own fragment of eternity. Kingdom come and His will be done on earth as it's been done until now. It's about the young and the old, to find that there's a cure for the cracks in their souls. God bless you if it's not your thing. Go listen to whatever somebody else sings.
This is my song.
This is my life, this is my dream, this is my very own fragment of eternity. I'm becoming everything that was designed to be. This is my life, this is my dream, this is my very own fragment of eternity. His kingdom come and his will be done on earth.
Since we gotta tell me, God, make my lyrics if I want to. Turn the amps to the 11 if I want to. Make the songs dynamic if I want to. Share my faith from the stage if I want to. You can burn electronic if you want to. What's the plan? Try to change me if you want to.
This is my life, this is my dream, this is my very own fragment of eternity. And becoming everything that I was designed to be. This is my life, this is my dream, this is my very own fragment of eternity. His kingdom come and his will be done on earth.
As if we gotta tell me.
It's different whenever you know people are watching you. How's it going, Mike? Yeah, so this is a shorter version of what's going to be played at KCF. KCF actually is, KCF is going to be about 7 songs, give or take. And it's not going to have me on guitar, thankfully. But so a little bit of a story behind why I'm doing this and why I'm practicing for this type of setup is that I have a show that's coming up next Sunday in Columbia, Tennessee. And originally, it's me, Caleb, and another guy who's on staff with the event that we're playing at, named Manny, who volunteered to drum for us. It was originally going to be us 3 on there, but then last minute, Caleb's boss at his job basically said that they needed him in the store. Where he was originally said that he was guaranteed the time off, something had changed to where that's no longer the case. So, he's not able to make it, and all substitution options that I had fell through. So, I'm not wanting to just abandon this, but and this makes me nervous and everything like that, but this is an opportunity for me to expand my musicianship skills. So I've took this as a challenge. Like, I'm going to learn to play these songs, play guitar, sing, perform well, and, you know, I might need to augment the guitar arrangement for these tracks, but this is something that it's throwing myself into the deep end and expecting me to swim, and this should be something that will make me grow as an artist and a musician and everything. So that's why I decided I wasn't going to cancel and I was going to take on this challenge. Some people might debate whether I'm doing well at it or not, but I'm just kind of go for it. So anyway, that is Engraved plus Fragment. So we're going to go on to Venom. And like I said before, my plan was to go do 3 run-throughs of the set list. I ended up doing 1 already before I ended up going live because I didn't realize I wasn't live. But yeah. Mike, so that's cool. Wish we could be there next weekend, but we'll be at KCF. Oh, I understand, man. But yeah, you just do what you're able to do. we're going to be on this thing called the Extreme Tour, and while we're not on really any of the dates on the tour except for one, this looks like it's going to be a pretty good relationship between us and the people who are the event staff. And so at the very least, working this one date with them gives us a chance to see how they operate and everything. And then if at all possible, we will probably even put more time into the Extreme Tour, and maybe even like we'll just maybe not go to KCF. We'll just kind of see, just because. Well, I explain later. I'm gonna go through Venom next, and then I'll talk about why we might put all our eggs in the Extreme Tour basket, if not most of them. But anyway, here is Venom.
Go! Venom must have been true, pushing from inside, telling to the facts within your ears. You burn and anger, cause what everyone will do, filtering through the lens out of everybody and you, as much as you do.
It's time to repent of the hate. It's time to eradicate the mindset that makes me regurgitate the venom of
you burning anger, pouring poison in the well. World dumping liquid and burst from your mouth, set on fire by you. Love God, I love, realize yourself. Trying good, take a part in life. And I know
it's time to repent of the hate. It's time to eradicate the mindset that makes me regurgitate.
Jesus,
it's time I surrender the pain, my rights to embrace disdain. The nerves sever me from the heart of Cain. The venom of hate.
I know
It's time to repent of the hate. It's time to eradicate the mindset that makes me regurgitate.
Jesus,
It's time I surrender the pain, my rights to embrace disdain. The nerves sever me from the heart of Cain. The venom of
hate.
Screwed that one up at the end. It's okay. I'll be getting it. I mean, the fact that I'm at the point where I'm at right now, starting from absolute zero, is nothing short of an achievement. Because I've never had to play and sing at the same time. But going into a little bit of why we might end up not doing KCF and put our time towards the Extreme Tour is because the Extreme Tour, for lack of a better word, it basically is it's a musical missions trip on steroids. It's really a community outreach event put on by a faith-based nonprofit organization. I do believe it is the Extreme Tour and everything. That's the name of the organization. But they have performances and by artists and extreme athletes, along with booths for resources for things like addiction recovery and so on and so forth. And those are at the community events that they put on that are more festival-like. But then you have the stuff that they do the days before the actual events, because they'll be in a city for anywhere from 2 or 3 days. And one of the days, they're doing outreach. They're going out into the community and trying to help folks. And it's not just promotion for the event so that people have a place where they're, not only enjoying some great art and performances, but they're being loved on and having their needs met on a larger scale. But they are doing, actually humanitarian work, and that looks different based on what the needs of the community are that they're going to. And that sounds very close to the Firebrand vision. That's what we would have loved to see for a tour for us. And the best part about it is it's that it's like somebody's already doing this type of thing, and it almost doesn't need to, we almost don't have to think about it. If we actually were to put all of our eggs in this basket, or if not most of them, that would really take care of a lot of things that we were planning on. And it wouldn't be necessarily glamorous, but it'd be a good way for us to go out and engage with people, to share the gospel, and to meet people's needs where they're at and everything. That's always kind of been the Firebrand vision. KCF is great, but it's pretty insular. And it's very much a Christian event. Nothing wrong with that, but where our goals and where we know the Lord's calling us is probably going to be away from that environment for a while, simply because it's time for us to go out and engage with the lost and everything on a more serious level. So that's what it might look like. We'll just see how everything works for this date, but that is what it's looking like. Thank you to everybody who is joining us here. Next song is going to be Become the Pain. All right, because I always kind of get tripped up on that part.
It's just another stick from abuse. It's just another time I was used. It's just another broken heart. It's just another dream torn apart.
No smiling never hurts. Leave the past behind. You're close forever.
Fracture you will bite.
In the midst of the lies and the stains, mercy triumphs over blame. Despite the scars that remain, I refuse
just to become the pain. The bright future I could partake, the danger of the black scar of fate, the measure that I felt against you. Because the judgment throws me through.
No smiling never hurt.
The past behind.
Your clouds forever.
Fracture you will bite.
In the midst of the lies and the stains, mercy triumphs over blame. Despite the scars that remain, I refuse.
It doesn't become the pain. Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Forgive us our sins, as we forgive those who sin against us.
No smiling never hurt.
The past behind.
Your clouds forever.
Every fracture you will bite.
In the midst of the lies and the stains, mercy triumphs over blame. Despite the scars that remain, I refuse.
It doesn't become the pain.
Divorced from the memories and shame, letting go of bloody stain. With mercy leading the way, I refuse.
It doesn't become the pain. It doesn't become the pain.
Yeah, we're working on it. How's the audio sound, by the way? I've got two sources of audio kind of going to the stream and everything to make sure that the mic and the guitar are somewhat balanced with the tracks going on in the background and everything. So let me know if it just sounds weird and unappealing, because I know I'm getting people that are bumping in and out and everything, and it's one of those things, some people, might just really only have time to check out what's going on. Some might not think it sounds very good. Anyway, hate to say it because I want to see you at KCF, but jumping on that tour would be excellent. It would, and that's one of those things. Guitar is a little muted, but otherwise sounds good. Okay, give me just a moment because it might need to just have a little more gain on it. I might need to scale the vocals back just a little bit so I'm not like overpowering everything else in the tracks too. All right. See how this sounds? I'm going to go on to Garbage and then go from there. Dance to the beat of the drum of your soul's enemy. Do what you say, not so subliminal, supersonic control. Moving morality, come on, try. Just hold in reality, rattle the words hitting off the airway. Letting in the destruction's pain. Garbage out, garbage out. You entertain, there's no doubt. Open racing out, lead a crooked route. Okay, how did that sound in terms of the sound balancing? Is it definitely louder? Yeah, hopefully it didn't overpower everything. I'm not getting the best monitoring. Did you learn guitar from scratch to play these songs, or did you have some guitar background? So I am... so I don't really have a guitar background. I learned guitar out of necessity to kind of get the ideas out of my head. I mean, I could always play the stuff from beginning to end, because, you know, I write, record, mix, and master the songs all from start to finish myself. In fact, with a lot of the same gear that I do the stuff on now. But, so I could always, I don't have any, like, formal training or anything like that. It's just, like, I just kind of picked around and until it matched the sounds that were in my head. And then, like I said, I've been able to play it from beginning to end because I recorded it. But having to learn to sing and play guitar at the same time is quite a beast, because especially the way that I wrote it, I did not write it with playing and singing in mind. So you definitely have a lot of, I mean, not conflicting rhythms, but rhythms that have a lot more movement to them, and it could knock off your sense of rhythm for one or the other. So you'll notice in the choruses that I have for these, you know, what I'm playing has a lot more just like open power chords and everything like that, rather than stuff with a lot more movement. Garbage, like the actual recorded version of Garbage, has a lot of movement in there. I'm just doing open power chords in that one with a simple strumming pattern just to make things simpler. I mean, for where it's at, I went from nothing to doing what you're seeing now in about a week's worth of practice. So I would say, I mean, that's not bad. So it could be down maybe half a tick, but sounded much better. Okay, I'm going to bring that down just a little bit so it doesn't blow out anybody's speakers. All right, so I'm gonna do Dethroned, and that'll round out the second run through of the set list, and then I'll do one more run through and go from there.
Powers carry out the way in the grip of the world God aside. Burden infestations, national devastation, to break the chains that hold the sides. Warning the unseen, watch not obey. Mockers turn their face, not to follow the place. And authorities made a mockery from under his feet. Their conspiracy, ending in defeat, coveting the thumb by our senses down. Innocent sight, dark powers carry us away in the grip of a wild God aside. Burden of transgressions within the devil's possession.
listen, mending and efforts, cuddling on the
where our sons are scattered. Rise, O God, and touch the earth, for the nations belong to you.
All right, well, that is the second run through of the set list, and that's what I've been doing basically for the entire time that I've been working on this. Is I've been running through the set list 3 times a day. At least first time is just through guitar only to try and, just make sure I have the parts as down as I possibly can. And then the second and third run through are adding vocals and working on trying to nail down the what's supposed to be done on what rhythm so that it sounds as coherent as possible. And also just trying to get the muscle memory and everything like that down. My throat's so dry. How's everybody's evening been? My neck's been stiff. Yesterday I felt like I got ran over by a steamroller. It was just so bad. And what's crazy is I've been working mandatory overtime this entire weekend, so I'm not going to get a day off until I'm leaving with my crew to go to the Extreme Tour. My nephew got baptized today, and we went to a late lunch, so that was nice. Praise the Lord, man. That's awesome. That is awesome. Plus, it's a great way to spend the weekend with family and everything. That's awesome. All right. I'm going to go try to do another round. I'm going to start off with Engraved plus Fragment. And this go-round ought to be better. Especially now that I'm, used to, what kind of fumbled me up a little bit, especially at the beginning, is just knowing that people were watching me, and I just, I got to shut that out and lock in. Once I do that, I should be pretty good. But let's do this. Try that again. That's crazy. It's almost insane that you picked up the guitar like that in a week. Oh, thank you. where the hope and the future begins. Nowhere can I find a trace of place. Tossed and driven like a wave upon the seas. My hope is to take another hands on whose palms has my name been engraved.
I resolve to let go of the sins and ways so we may attract. Struggle learn with the actions I had for the things that were holding me back. Struggle learn with that on a life where I can't let myself again. To myself every day of my work till it gets to my heart and my brain.
I won't stop till I'm delivered from the lights that I believed in. Taking on a new perspective, I'm transformed as my mind is renewed. Nowhere can I find a trace of pain. Tossed and driven like a wave upon the seas. My hope is to take hold of the hands on whose palms has my name been engraved. Give one good reason to me. Stay in the box that you made for me. Tell proclaimed renegades. Put a finger in my face and go with the brain.
I don't think so.
This is my vibe, this is my dream. This is my theory of finding of eternity. I'm becoming everything I was designed to be. This is my life, this is my dream. This is my theory of finding of eternity. It's gonna come and it's really done on earth.
Give it to me.
It's about the young and the old. It's about that there's a cure full of cracks in their souls. God bless you if it's not your thing. Go listen to whatever somebody else says.
This is my soul.
This is my life. This is my dream. This is my theory of finding of eternity. Becoming everything I was designed to be. This is my life. This is my dream. This is my theory of finding of eternity. It's gonna come and it's really done on earth.
Since we got it all right, God, so I want to turn the lights to the right if I want to. The song's dynamic if I want to. On the stage if I want to. You can burn your crack if you want to. But it's bad, try and change me if you want to.
This is my life, this is my dream, this is my very own finding of eternity. I'm becoming everything that I was designed to be. This is my life, this is my dream, this is my very own finding of eternity. This kingdom come and it's really done on earth. Since we got it all now. That was way better. Let's get this momentum going. Let's go on to Venom. the hate. It's time to eradicate the mindset that makes me regurgitate the venom of
pouring poison in the world. World of inequality burst from your mouth. Set on fire, body. Of God, Venom, not assess yourself. Try out, good, to life. No,
it's time to repent all the hate. It's time to eradicate the mindset that makes me regurgitate.
Jesus,
It's time I surrender the pain. My rights to embrace this state. The nerves never leave from the heart of Cain.
the venom of earth.
It's time to repent of the hate. It's time to eradicate the mindset that makes me regurgitate.
Jesus,
It's time I surrender the pain. My rights to embrace this state. The nerves never leave from the heart of Cain.
the venom of
Temptation there was to go a lot faster than the song was calling for. I kind of fell into that trap for a second there. That course correct. All right. Become the pain. Let's try it again, shall we?
It's just another stick from abuse. It's just another time I was used. It's just another broken heart. It's
Now falling never hurt in the past. Your cause will never hurt.
fracturing you will bite.
In the midst of the lies and the stains, mercy triumphs over blame. Despite the scars that remain, I refuse.
There's a picture of picture I could portray. In danger of the black sky of fate. The measure that I've had against you becomes a judgment that lets me through.
No small and never hurt.
Past behind.
Your crimes forever hurt.
Fracturing you will bite.
In the midst of the lies and the stains, mercy triumphs over pain. Despite the scars that remain, I refuse.
Does it become the pain? Father, I will be your name. Forgive us our sins, as we forgive those who sin against us.
No small and never hurt.
Past behind.
Your crimes forever.
Fracture you will bite.
In the midst of the lies and the stains, mercy triumphs over pain. Despite the scars that remain, I refuse.
Does it become the pain?
Forced from the memories and shame, but letting go of body stain. Mercy invading the way I refuse.
Does it become the pain? It does to become the pain.
I fumbled that alternate picking step down there, but I did it better the other time, so I'll just continue to focus and work on that. It's slower than it sounds. It's just that, again, the temptation is to go faster than what the song demands. I can't think of garbage without thinking of that line from Robots. It's like, riddle me this. Why'd I meet you amongst the garbage? All right. So we're going to go to Garbage, Dethroned, and then that'll be the end of it. I'm excited. Dance to the beat of the drum, my missiles in a man. Do what they say, not so subliminal, supersonic control the rain.
From the side,
Rolling morality,
from the side,
distorted reality. Running the words, singing on the narrow way, living in the destruction of pain. Garbage out, garbage out. Open racing out, a little crooked house. There's garbage out, garbage out. For every plague, blasting devices of the dark powers unseen. Do what they say, screaming and feel bad of every speaker, every scream.
side,
Refuse to get find the words hitting on the narrow way. After across the state, garbage out, garbage out. Never take what you entertain, there's no doubt. lot better. Imitate what you entertain is so unbelievably true. Oh, yeah. And as a media junkie myself, it's one of those things that I'm all too familiar with it. I mean, and convictions are allowed to be elastic, but it was one of those things that when I realized that whenever I gave whenever I got serious about following Jesus at 17, I mean, I'd believed in him as my savior since I was 7, but it took 10 years for me to actually get serious about it. And there's a whole lot of reasons, why the world was pulling me a long way from 7 years old. But one of the things that I did was get rid of all of the music I was listening to at the time, or most of it, except for what was Christian. So I got rid of a lot of Slipknot, Five Finger Death Punch, even Breaking Benjamin. Their songs aren't really all that inappropriate or having swear words or whatever like that, but they did put me in a depressing mood, and that was something that was not a good thing for me to have at the time. Not something I would say that everybody else should do, but that was just something that I knew for me that was not something good for me to be digesting. And so, for a time, I just stayed away from a lot of general market heavy music. But then, now I'm like, I can be more discretionary about what I listen to, even if it's general market stuff. And so now it's like, I've changed a lot since then. I'm 30 now, and obviously my convictions have changed, but nevertheless, I've been aware of the influence that we imitate what we entertain. And that's something I kind of wanted to drive home to people in a really intense song. Well, let's finish up this round of the set list and wrap this up. This is Dethroned with me on the guitar and vocals. Hold on, I gotta practice a part here. I think that'll help. All right, so let's do this.
the sun, that the payment cry, that the captain's lie, stands eternal light.
Principalities and authorities made a mockery from under his feet. Their conspiracy winning and defeat, coveting up from
Horizons of sky. Rise up, God, and touch the earth. All the nations bow unto you.
Well, there you have it. That was that's a progress report and everything on me learning all this stuff. I know I still have a ways to go. I wrote the Dethroned is still a Dethroned is definitely the one where I got to work the most because there's so many switching parts. But like I said, I mean, I'll focus on it and work on it, and hopefully that'll and by the time I'm performing this time, probably this time next week, it'll sound a whole lot more solid. So that intro to Dethroned gets the blood pumping because you know what's coming. Oh, yeah, you do. That's honestly my favorite song on the record. I mean, I like all of the songs on Vengeance is Mine, but Dethroned just, yeah, it just rips. Oh, wow. That's only a little past 7. So the stream has been going on for about an hour, but give or take, I've actually been doing this for about an hour and a half. So, yeah, that's how it's going. So, oh, a big thank you to everybody who showed up. I know, Mike, you were active in the chat and everything, whereas a lot of other folks weren't. But I mean, this stream has had 6 views, and it's had steady up and down concurrent viewers and everything, which is awesome. I'm very thankful for that. And even if you just jumped on for a moment to see what was going on. And thank you to everybody who came on. Thank you to everybody who will watch this later. And thanks for your patience and understanding and everything. But yeah, if you want to support the project, it's great to see you. Hi to Lauren. Hopefully can see you guys soon. We would love that. We would absolutely love that. For those who are watching, if you want to support the project, there's a couple ways to do it. Firebrand.site, which is linked in the description, is the best place to go to. You can find the merch and links to Bandcamp and everything where you can get all the music and the merchandise connected to it. If you prefer digital outlets like streaming and so forth, those are also linked in the description. Also consider becoming part of the Fire Tribe on Patreon. It's anywhere from $5 to $10 a month, and you're able to get access to behind-the-scenes content, demos. We do have a private Discord server, but we're not super active in that. We use that more for like the monthly video calls that we have, just kind of shooting the breeze, talking about life and what are the ventures that we're in this season of life. What else? Oh, and a perk of being a $10 member is that you get all of past, present, and future Firebrand albums for free digital downloads, and get to hear them early and see it all come together and everything. Plus, you also get early access to videos in the works and so forth. So, lots of cool stuff. the Fire Tribe as a Patreon and everything. Say, love it. Say it's worth it and everything. And it's a fun time. So, again, thank you to everybody who showed up. Thanks for giving me grace on this. And there will not be a stream next week because you know what I'll be doing. I will be, this time next week, I will be on a stage, but afterwards, we probably will get some streams in between then and KCF. So just keep an ear to the ground and keep an ear to the social medias and everything. I'm going to go ahead and wrap stuff up tonight, but love you guys. Be praying for you. And until next time, Firebrand out.